Hi everyone, in this lesson we will focus on the area and perimeter of a trapezoid. So a trapezoid is a four-sided shape that has one pair of parallel lines, which parallel line means lines that are equal distance from each other. So in the example below, the parallel lines will be the one on top and the one at the bottom because they're the only two that no matter how long and far they extend, they would never meet. And on the picture to the right, it will be the one going down on both sides because they are the pair that will never meet no matter how long you extend the line. Now in a parallelogram, the base are the two parallel lines, meaning that we have two bases. And the other two sides are called the legs, which you will need to find for the perimeter of a trapezoid. Now, and the distance from one base to the other is called the altitude, which is a fancier name for height. So let's come back to the picture and take a look at this. If I were to find the height of this trapezoid, I would begin from the top and drop it down to the bottom of the base. So they form a right angle on either side, and this will be the height. And again, we have two bases. I normally call this the base 1 and this the base 2. And on the picture to the right, because the parallel lines are going down, we would call this the base 1, this as the base 2, and you will go straight down from one base to the other, so they form a right angle, and this will be the height. Now notice how if you take the shape and rotate it by 90 degrees, you do get a shape that looks very similar like the one to the right. So you don't always have to reshape from top to bottom. You can always rotate it so you can see the base and height more easily. The next thing that we need to do is finding the area formula for a trapezoid. Now let's take a look at a quick clip before we begin. One more time, notice how if you double a trapezoid and rotate it, you get a parallelogram, which makes a long base that's a combination of base 1 and base 2, giving that the area of a parallelogram is base times height. All we need to do for this particular shape is base 1 plus base 2, so we can have a big base combined together times the height. Now because this is a doubled up trapezoid, we can also use this fact and lead to an area of a trapezoid by taking the above formula and divide it by 2. Again, the reason why we are dividing it by 2 is because the parallelogram is made from two identical trapezoids combined together. So in this example, we are asked to find the area of a trapezoid with the two bases of 9 cm and 7 cm and a height of 3 cm. So let's first draw a picture. We have two bases. The base for the 9 cm I'll put at the bottom, 9 cm, and the base of 7 cm I'll put it on the top, 7 cm. I will connect the two lines together to make the trapezoid. Given that the height needs to create a 90-degree angle, I would drop a line down from one base to the other so they form a 90-degree angle and write this as 3 cm. And as a reminder, you can always double up this shape and flip it over so you get a 9, 7. So you have a trapezoid turned to a parallelogram. That means I can use the formula area of a trapezoid equals to base 1 plus base 2 times height, and then I need to divide it by 2 because of the double up that creates the parallelogram. So the bases are 7 plus 9 and the height is 3. Dividing by 2, the parenthesis gives us 16 times 3 divided by 2, which you will get 24 square centimeter as your final answer. So let's do one more example right here. The question says that the area of a trapezoid is 52 square inches and the bases, meaning the two bases, are 11 inches and 15 inches. So in this question, we are finding the height, which is a little different from what is given above. So let's put the information down first. We know that the bases are the two parallel lines, which one will be 15 inches and the other one will be 11 inches. Connecting them together will make a trapezoid, and I would drop the line down from one base to the other to form a right angle. So I know this is height, and because I don't know what that number is, I'm going to use the variable n to represent the unknown. Now, because the formula of a trapezoid is base 1 plus base 2 times height and then divided by 2, the next step you should do in this case is to substitute the numbers into the variables, which we know the bases are 11 and 15, and you times the height divided by 2 should give you 52 as the final answer. So 11 plus 15 gives you 26 times height divided by 2 equals to 52. To understand this, we need to draw a picture that forms a parallelogram. So if one of the shape is 52 square inches, the other will also be 52 square inches. That means this whole thing will be 104 square inches. Given that the bases will combine to be 26 on top, the height right here will lead to the fact that 104 equals to 26 times the height, which is the same thing as if I take the divided by 2 and do the inverse operation and times both by 2, you still get 104, and you get this remaining part right here. Now, using the inverse operations or the facts family, I can also rewrite this as 104 divided by 26 equals to the height, which 104 divided by 26 is 4. So our final answer for the height will be 4. That's it for the lesson.